What if the most important UAP program in existence is the one that was never meant to be acknowledged? Not hidden behind classification, but hidden behind something more effective: absence. No budget line, no official record, no confirmed existence. And yet, a name appears. Not leaked in fragments, not whispered through forums, but entered formally into the United States Congressional record: Immaculate Constellation. A program described as collecting the most sensitive UAP data ever captured, but not just collecting it, controlling it, filtering what is seen and what is allowed to be understood. And then, almost immediately, comes the response. Clear, direct, unambiguous. It does not exist. So tonight, we're not chasing speculation. We're examining something far more precise. A claim that entered the official record, a structure that was described in detail, and a denial that shut it down just as quickly. Because in this case, the story is not just what was said, it's where it was said and what happened next. Welcome to UFO to UAP, the Disclosure Report. I'm your host, Matt Tones. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and share the episode, which is titled Immaculate Constellation: The Claim, the Record, and the Denial. Let's start with what we can confirm. On November 2024, during a US House Oversight Committee hearing on UAPs, journalist Michael Schallenberger submitted written testimony. This is not speculation. This document exists, is publicly accessible, and is archived within official congressional records. Inside that document is a reference to a whistleblower account, and within that account is the first formal mention of Immaculate Constellation. This is where the story separates from most UAP claims. This is not an anomalous leak, a secondhand report, or a media rumor. This is a claim introduced through official process, and that gives it weight. Not proof, but weight. According to the testimony, a current or former US government official provided information to Congress describing an unacknowledged Special Access Program, or USAP, allegedly established around 2017 and operating outside standard reporting structures and potentially outside congressional oversight. The name? The program is identified as Immaculate Constellation, a name that carries a very specific tone: clean, precise, controlled. And that tone matters because it suggests organization, not anomaly. Now, we slow this down and let's look at the claim. What was described? Because this is where the episode becomes critical. We're going to walk through the claim as it was presented. So the core function. According to the whistleblower account, Immaculate Constellation was designed to collect UAP-related data from multiple intelligence sources, including infrared systems, FLIR imaging, satellite surveillance, and full-motion video. But this is not unusual. Many programs collect intelligence data. What makes this different is what comes next. The key allocation is that the program did not just collect data, it intercepted it before it entered broader intelligence systems. Let's just let that land, because this changes everything. If true, this would mean UAP data is being segregated at the source. Standard analysts may never see the full data set, and oversight bodies may be working with filtered information. The whistleblower description suggests the program exists to detect UAP events, quarantine sensitive data, and then control distribution. Not suppression, not denial, but something more structured: information management. If accurate, this is not just a problem, it is a system-level filter, a mechanism that determines what becomes known, and what never does. Now we stop because this is where the most discussions lose discipline on the claim versus reality. Let's separate what we actually have. What is real? The document exists. The testimony was submitted. The claim is formally recorded. What is not confirmed? The program itself, any internal documentation, and any supporting evidence beyond the claim. And this is the line. The existence of the claim is verified. The existence of the program is not. And that distinction is everything. So let's now look at institutional response, or the denial. Shortly after the claim surfaced, the Department of Defense responded, and the response was simple. No such programs exist. No record, no SAP, no historical reference. So why does this matter? Because now we have a formal claim and a formal denial, both within official channels. So what does the denial mean in intelligence terms? Denial does not automatically equal truth. It can mean the program does not exist, the program exists under another name, the claim is incorrect, the claim is misinterpreted, and at this stage, we cannot confirm which one is true. So let's now explore alternative explanations from an expanded analysis. And this is where we move deeper, because this is where the real investigation begins. Scenario 1, the program exists. In this case, the whistleblower is accurate. The program is real, and it has remained outside traditional oversight. This would imply extreme compartmentalization, intentional control of UAP data, and a structured gap in accountability. Scenario 2, misidentified system. The whistleblower encountered real systems, real data pipelines, but misinterpreted their function. Possibilities include sensor fusion systems, classified intelligence workflows, or data prioritization systems. Scenario 3 could be a simulation environment. There is increasing discussion that references like this may relate to classified wargaming environments or scenario modeling frameworks where hypothetical programs are treated as real within a simulation. Scenario 4, narrative formulation. And this is the most subtle possibility, that we are witnessing a narrative forming inside official structures where claims gain legitimacy through process rather than evidence. Now, let's zoom out and let's explore the pattern, because this is where everything connects. Across our recent episodes, we've seen ancient texts interpreted, global theories constructed, modern claims institutionalized, and now a claim entering official record without proof. The pattern is consistent. Humans observe, interpret, structure, and formalize. And once something is formalized, it gains weight. Now, let's apply our core intelligence lens on this and dive a little bit deeper. Institutional gravity. Once something enters Congress, official testimony, or public record, it becomes real in process, even if it's not real in fact. Information asymmetry. Most people cannot access classified systems and cannot verify internal programs, so narratives fill the gap between what is said and what can be proven. If a system like this existed, its purpose would not be discovery. It would be control. Control of data, interpretation, and access. So what is the real question? And this is where the episode sharpens. The question is not, is Immaculate Constellation real? The question is, what level of evidence would we need to prove that it is real? So where does this leave us? Immaculate Constellation is a documented claim, introduced through official channels describing a highly specific structure, but it is not confirmed, verified, or supported by independent evidence. The truth sits here, between claim, record, and denial. And that space, is where this entire story exists. Because in the end, this is not just a story about a program, it's a story about process and what happens when a claim becomes official before it becomes proven. Because once something enters the record, it doesn't disappear, it lingers, it evolves, and it shapes the way we ask questions moving forward. This is UFO to UAP, the Disclosure Report. I'm Matt Tones, and sometimes the most important thing isn't what's hidden, it's what we think we've already found. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, and don't forget to tell your mum about the episode.